Welcome back to Hot Takes and Deep Dives, and I am here with a man who self-described done nothing with his life.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. I've been begging to come on for months, if not years. And
I'm here with Dan Allegretto. Your podcast is Patreon only. It is Dial Dan.
Yeah, but there's a lot of free episodes on Spotify and iTunes as well.
Your show is very like stream of consciousness, but the thing that I love that you do is you take questions from your Instagram followers. It's just like, hey, I'm doing topics, ask me anything.
Right.
And I will frequently interact with you that way. And
You're the best question asker we have. Thank you. I really owe you a lot.
And so I want to go over some of those questions. I want to really because I don't get a chance. You respond, but I don't get a chance to ask follow-up questions.
Right.
You're just doing them. And again, the questions are totally out of there. They have nothing. They are apropos of nothing. And so something that was very top of mind for me a few weeks ago is a question I submitted was why do bald men, and also men, why do bald men and also men in general wear hats?
Yeah, I remember that. I think I was offended, actually.
I'm not a fan of men
like
wearing hats.
Oh.
I'm a hair person, so I want to see your hair. And also, I gave you an example of Ian McAndrew is a Barry's Bootcamp instructor. Just look him up on Instagram. He's a sexy looking guy. He's got full tattooed arms, and he just has a shaved head. He lost his hair very young, and he shaved his head, and he just has a little beard, and he's so cute, and obviously he's in shape. So he doesn't wear a hat constantly. And I specifically...
Well, I'm out of shape. So for the listeners at home, that is not what I look like.
So yeah, let's start there. Why do men, specifically bald men, wear hats?
Well, I think there's so many reasons. I feel like my head looks too small if there's not anything on top of it. It needs some visual weight, and I just look wrong. I just feel more affirmed if I have a hat on. Also, if you get kind of sweaty, then you look like a sweaty bald guy, and it's just kind of condensating on top of your head. You look crazy. I want to carry a hanky around, The sun, I'd have to wear SPF and stuff. It just, I'm kind of tall, so I'm closer to
Ian
God.
Ian McAndrew is tall as well.
Yeah, and so I don't have to to shave my head every day to the point where because I have a weird spot in the front that just grows here. So I would have to shave with a razor every day, and it's just so annoying. I'm lazy.
How old were you when you lost your hair?
I think 24, and it happened so fast. I would wake up and have a halo of hair around my head and my pillow, and I'm like, that's random. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm just stressed out. And then it was just gone. And I didn't have money for finasteride or Propecia or whatever everyone's doing now. And it was too late, and everyone in my family's bald. I'm like, I can't fight this. I'm not strong enough or rich enough.
You felt that it was too late to what?
Grow back what I'd lost, I guess. Because it was just...
What was your hair like?
Gorgeous. Kind of like yours, actually.
You had curly hair?
It was a wavy, and it would kind of curl at the end, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That picture I post on Twitter all the time of 15-year-old me?
Yes.
It was like that. It was full, thick. Yeah, it was beautiful. Actually, last night I had a dream where I had a full head of hair still. That happens every few months. Ooh. And I wake up and I am devastated.
Now, did you go through a heartbreak when this happened?
Oh, I think it's very traumatizing, and we don't talk about it enough. Because it's your whole appearance changes, and you're like, oh, I'm a bald guy now. And the thing is, everyone feels very comfortable talking shit about bald guys. Oh, he's bald and gross.
I want to stop you there, because you said this in your... something to the effect of society hates bald men. And
that's true.
I was with my friend Mark Snyder last night, and he was telling me about this guy who he has great chemistry with in LA. I'm like, what does he look like? The first thing he said was, he's bald, he's got tattoos, he's got a mustache, he's gorgeous. Okay. And I immediately thought of you. And good. I think
there's some good people out there.
There's some good ones.
I
think the whole you thinking society hates bald men, is that in your head?
Yeah. You don't really think that. I mean, come on, if gun to your head, if people had to choose the same exact partner, bald or with hair, they're probably going to go with hair.
But you're acting like society is targeting bald men.
Yes, they are. Around every corner I'm targeted.
Now, something that I want to talk to you about You were doing a live,
Okay, yeah, so it must have been recent.
a Patreon live, and I came in, and we're gonna.
I don't remember anything I say.
This is gonna lead us into a segment that I'm calling "These Are the Faggots."
Okay, great.
Okay.
Jess hosts the podcast Hot Takes and Deep Dives. She has the best guests. They're like gay people who aren't really annoying and crazy. They're like people who actually matter to me. Such as like the creators of like Queer as Folk or like the L Word. A lot of like Broadway theater stuff, which I don't quite know about or understand, but I still eat it up. Oh, Jess said Vincent Patterson is on Monday. He choreographed Michael Jackson and Madonna for years. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The fucking real faggots. The faggots that I love. Again, catch me on Hot Takes and Deep Dives. After I can't wait for this episode about Michael Jackson and Madonna, the choreographer. But you understand the tea that she's getting into? It's elaborate and special, and like these people like need to be recorded for historical purposes. Like that's what she's doing. And I've been begging her for years, and it's finally worked. Because like I don't know how the episode's going to go, because she's going to introduce me as like a guy who's done nothing with his life.
I didn't know that was like the real faggots was a reference to something I'd said like probably like 5 days ago.
No, that is your iconic line, "The real faggots."
Okay, great. I love this idea, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't get that it was your own line?
Nope, I had no idea. Truly no idea until just this second.
This is going to spin off a couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, I asked you to codify your list of your top 5 real faggots.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to talk about how gay men, there's nothing a gay man hates more than another gay man, like another gay man in media or another like gay male podcaster. So
True. I just think the gay guys who get famous now are pretty annoying and not cool. It was hard to like think of gay guys this morning when you asked me to make a list. I'm like, oh, I was like struggling to come up with like 8 of them. Then I eventually got in the groove. I'm like, oh yeah, him.
you couldn't
him.
think of like Andy
But I'm
Warhol?
like, I couldn't. And my friend, I texted my friend, I'm like, okay, can you just start naming gay guys for me? All I can think of is like Las Culturistas, like clips I have to see all the time just from being on the internet. And I'm like, okay, there's nothing like personally revealing about what they're ever going to talk about. They're never like scathing in a way that makes me interested. It's just like kind of, they're just gassing other celebrities up. And that's useless to me because I don't care.
Something I did, they used to be a lot more personal.
I'm sure.
Something that I loved, Matt Rogers pretty much trashed the new Idina Menzel musical
Oh, she's
called
like
Redwood.
swinging around a giant tree.
Yeah, and his review was, he basically said that Redwood was horrible, which is the universal feeling on it.
Uh-huh.
But so I enjoyed that they gave commentary on something.
Yeah, I think that generally people are very censored now, especially if you're at a certain level where you want to have guests on because your whole thing is just like PR for other people. Like, I get that you're not going to spill the real tea, but then like I don't have time for that.
So this leads us to, who are the real faggots?
Who are the real faggots? Well, let me pull up my list. So I have 5 and I have 18 honorable mentions.
Oh my God. Okay.
Basically every gag I could kind of think of.
Okay.
So my top 5 are number 1, Quentin Crisp. Number 2, RuPaul Charles. Number 3, Paul Rubens. Number 4, Andy Cohen. And number 5, John Waters.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that there's a Pee Wee Herman documentary coming out?
Yeah, I actually met the guy who made it on New Year's Eve, but I didn't know it was him.
This is Lena Dunham's?
I wasn't going to lead. Yeah, I was at Lena Dunham's house in Connecticut for New Year's Eve.
Which is, we're going to talk about that later. How you get these invitations to fair. I want to understand your connection.
It's shocking. Yeah, I don't get it either.
How did you meet Lena Dunham? Like, how are you friends with Lena Dunham that she's inviting you to her? Was it her mom's house or her house?
Was, so her parents have a house, and behind that she built a small house.
Okay.
So it was mostly in her parents' house. We were kind of like going back and forth.
How did you first connect with Lena Dunham?
With Lena? Okay, so it was like probably 2017 or 18. I was at a bar looking at Twitter, and Lena had tweeted about the Red Scare podcast that I'm like friends with Anna and Dasha. I was on the show, and she was like, I love this podcast, even though they call me like their favorite human beanbag. And I was like, okay, I just tweeted her immediately. I was like, hey, I'm like the gay best friend of the pod. Please follow me back, or something desperate and sad, quite frankly. But
why did you ask for a follow back?
because I love her so much. I've been like a huge fan of her since day one. Tiny Furniture and then Girls. I've been defending Girls for fucking ever. And now it's finally like over. I'm like, what took so long? Everything is like right there in front of you.
I watched Girls from day one.
It's incredible.
I think I can be the voice of a generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the best written shows I've ever watched. Okay. So then she followed back. We like DM'd a little bit here and there. Nothing substantial. And then I think she got a social media manager. And then because like there was so much like vitriol towards her online, like everything she did was like, it was psychotic. So she left social media, and then my friend Alyssa Bennett does the C Word podcast with her on, I think, Luminary, or maybe it's, I don't even know, but it's great. They talk about like women throughout history who've been like maligned, et cetera, et cetera. And so we kind of communicated through Alyssa. Like Lena would like send me voice notes to play on the pod. We only met for the first time on New Year's Eve. And yeah.
So
it was,
I
was scared out of my mind.
So how do you go from just having this weird, like, having like an intermediary person to getting a New Year's Eve invite?
So my friend Sam McInnes is a painter. He lives like 5 miles down the road from the Dunham family. And so he was invited. I'm very good friends with him. Alyssa was going. My friend Nomi Fry was going. And I was like, guys, if one of you doesn't bring me along, there will be hell to pay. And so I think Sam texts her and he's like, oh yeah, Lena said you should definitely come. And then I did. And it was beautiful. Like, she's so funny and charming. She's like hops around like every different kind of group of person. She's like charming the pants off of them. She's hilarious.
So going back to the Pee Wee Herman documentary, this is because Paul Rubens is on your list.
Yeah.
You met the filmmaker?
So I had heard about it afterwards. They're like, oh, that was Lena's friend. He's making this Paul Rubens doc. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could have like talked to him about that, because like Pee-wee's Playhouse was like huge for me growing up. My older brother is 6 years older, and he'd like tape VHS Pee-wee episodes. So I had like a few Pee-wee episodes and also like the Christmas special, and I would just watch them over and over and over again. I'd never seen anything like it. Every like character in that show was so different from anything I'd ever seen before, and it was just like delightful and funny.
I'm surprised that Andy Cohen made the list.
Really?
Well, I think a lot of gay guys aren't into him.
Oh, I'm very much. You got to give credit where credit is due, and he's made my life so much better. Bravo is like my family. Like, there's so many people that I've met through the TV that are my friends and family now. I mean,
are you watching this season's Summer House?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good. This is going to segue. Okay, we're going to jump all around. This is very loose. This is going to be very loose, guys. So another question. You're like, questions. I'm like, oh, good. This is a perfect time for me to pop off of. Carl Radke is gay, and this is what I've come to the conclusion. I think he's in the midst of like some sort of identity crisis. He either knows he's gay and can't come out because of the mom and the family aspect. Carl being gay is the thing that unlocks everything about him making sense.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that Lindsay, she and Lindsay and Carl never had sex. Like they've been public about that. And it unlocks that. It unlocks the way he treats women. If you rewatch early seasons, like the way he treated the Workus twins, if you watch early seasons of Summer House, which everybody has to.
I did, but I like forget.
You gotta.
Really. Yeah, okay.
No, Carl was like incredible television. And it's very clear, this is how like gay guys treat women when something's not quite right.
Right. What would he do specifically to the twins? I can't
just the like womanizing. Yeah. I think in terms of like addiction, and it explains so much. The broken engagement. I do think that Lindsay and Carl are going to become best friends again.
They might, yeah.
I think they are.
They'll never fight again after the last kind of dinner they had together, where she had to like make him provide receipts to her about messaging that weird like Burning Man girl, whose like parents introduced them to each other like 8 months ago or something.
I think it's weird that Lindsay hasn't hinted that he's gay, or like maybe even
she might not know though.
Really?
I don't know. She strikes me the type to be like, what?
I didn't know my husband was gay.
Yeah, kind of.
Really? Maybe.
I mean, I think
she doesn't seem plugged into gay culture.
I don't think she has like a ton of gay friends, which doesn't bother me. I don't think she's like, she likes men.
Right.
Not little girls.
I see. Okay. Okay. So, Andy Cohen, because he's given you all your friends.
Yes.
Okay. And who else is on the list?
RuPaul and John Waters and Quentin Crisp.
Who's that?
Quentin Crisp.
Yeah.
So he's a writer. I mean, he's dead now, but I think he was living in London in like the 40s. He's a writer. You would love him.
What has he written?
And it's just all these stories that he tells about like being the swishiest, like most effete, like faggot ever in a time where like no one was doing anything like that. Can you Google him? Like you have to see what he looks like. It'll start to sort of make sense. But his writing style it seems so far ahead of its time.
He looks like
Angela Lansbury.
He looks like is he trans?
You know, actually, I'm maybe remembering that in the last years of his life, he kind of lived as a woman, but I don't know for
this
sure.
This person is definitely living as a woman. Oh, I'm very into this.
Yeah.
Who is the actress who he looks like? Aside from almost an
Maggie.
He looks like Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith, yeah.
And he looks like an older version a little bit. I keep wanting to say of Peggy Peabody, but it's Holland Taylor. When she's older. Okay. Another reason that I love you is you are knee deep in lesbian content. Like you are knee deep in you get lesbian pop culture.
Not enough of us are, but yeah.
My favorite type of gay guy is the gay guy who's into lesbian shit, into lesbian pop culture. Like John Hill is like this. My friend Damian Bellino, like mostly my gay male friends are. Yeah. And so you started talking about The Real L Word.
One of my favorite shows ever.
How did you discover? Now, The Real L Word is. Did you ever watch The L Word proper?
I watched a few seasons with my friend and neighbor years ago, and I never watched it from the beginning. But I mean. Any day now I'm going to. It's like an error on my part, but I love what I've seen.
But somehow you did complete The Real L Word.
I watched The Real L Word like 2 or 3 times.
How did you discover the Real L Word? Is, of course, for anybody who hasn't seen it, is when the L Word ended, they did a reality version.
Yeah, on Showtime. I must have been, I think I was living in New York, and maybe while I was watching the L Word with my friend, I was like, doing some Google schmoogling. I was like, wait a minute, there's a reality show. That's a little more my speed. Mm-hmm. And I was just hooked immediately because the way they film it is a lot different than most reality shows where it's like filmed like a tight kind of like few months. It seems like a season is really like almost like a year, and they film in different stages of a lesbian relationship, which can be very up and down, as you know. And, it was in Los Angeles, which I was always kind of like, what is LA really look like? I feel like both The Real L Word and like Vanderpump Rules changed my perception of what Los Angeles really resembles and like kind of lifts the veneer or the veil off. And it's just like, I do love LA, but like it is a lot of like annoying kind of driving around, a lot of parking lots, a lot of like weird balconies and like shitty apartments with like, floor to ceiling blinds.
And strip mall. Everything is in a strip mall.
Yeah. They're really like struggling to make it. They have like roommates and stuff, and they show them like explicitly like sucking and fucking, which is cool too. And then in the 3rd season, it's like kind of a bi-coastal season where I've always said South Williamsburg is a lesbian like mecca, and no one else. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how do you not know this? Like South Williamsburg is so lesbian, and I think it just will be forever, kind of. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
South Williamsburg?
Yeah.
Point to that on a map.
Like
what streets? Where
not
are
the
we?
like Hasidic part of South? Not like the deepest south of South, but like the bridge.
Do you mean like East Williamsburg?
No, I mean like Bedford and Driggs, just like south. Like once it goes below like Metropolitan Avenue, so it's like South
This
First,
is a
South
part
Second,
of the world
South
I
Third,
don't know
South.
well.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
You've just been in Manhattan forever.
No, I mean there are parts of Brooklyn that I know, but I don't know like the different neighborhoods within Williamsburg. So
you never went to like They go to like the Metropolitan Bar
yes.
for a lesbian night a few times, and I got like chills because I was like, I'm going there too when I'm watching. Like this is so cool. Like how did I miss?
If we bring like let's talk about Romy, Whitney. Well, sort of like
Whitney and Sada's whole saga.
Yeah.
Saga. Yeah.
You know that she's now with a man?
Yes.
Romy is married to a man. Don't know if they're still together. And Sada, they got divorced, and she's with a man as well.
Right. Yeah. Did they get married twice, Whitney and Sada? No.
I think just the one time.
Okay. Seems like they would maybe get married twice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But Whitney wound up having a kid on her own.
Yes. She looks great now. She's like jacked.
Yeah.
She like has the same kind of like tone as you, where she's like clearly doing something right.
Whitney always looked really good.
I loved how like much they would smoke cigarettes too in that show and just like get drunk. Like you just they didn't like hide anything about their lives. And I thought that was cool.
The married ones are still together and very active on Instagram. Nikki and Jill.
One of them transitioned, right?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. No. The ones who in the first season.
Oh, the rich ones.
The rich ones.
Oh, I loved them.
They're still together and they now have 2 kids, very active on Instagram. Yes. In season 2, there was this other couple and I think they were already married and one of them transitioned and then they got divorced.
Yeah. Their relationship was always so tense and kind of like, well, they were trying to like conceive and then like I think there was a miscarriage and it was like very sad. But you can kind of tell that the relationship really sort of hinged on this like baby. It was like they put all their energy into it and it was like, oh boy, I hope this works out. And then it didn't work out, unfortunately. And I guess neither did they. But happy for them and whatever they're doing now. Right? I think they're okay. Probably. I think I check in every once in a while. Wait, did Romy marry Angelina Jolie's brother?
That sounds familiar.
Like recently, but then they already got divorced.
And she married another guy before that.
Yeah, that kind of looked like him.
You know,
I
interviewed like all the people from The Real L Word, including Romy, when that was during that era of airing when I was writing for that website.
Wait, what website?
Autostraddle.
Oh,
which
okay.
is like a gay website. So I would interview all the celesbians. Yeah.
The celesbians, yeah.
But I really had a foothold in The Real L Word. That was my bread and butter for a good 3 years.
Oh, yeah, of course. When I went to LA for the first time in 2015, my 2 lesbian friends invited me to like a guest list only lesbian party in Hollywood at like a bar. And like Rosario Dawson was DJing. And I just never been around lesbians of, I would say like that ilk, like lesbians with like money. And I was like, oh my God, she's wearing a suit. Like what the fuck? I've never seen that before. I could use my imagination. It was like 10 years ago. I was like, 26 is actually fairly old, but like, the lesbians I knew were a little rough around the edges, but seeing so many like polished lesbians in one place, I was like,
they're not wearing suits. It's more like really like a full.
It was
wearing
like
a blazer is not a suit, or like a vest.
It seemed like maybe they'd come from work.
No, this is their going out clothes.
Okay, well,
and believe me, they're not fancy. This is like something they picked up.
It seemed pricier than Zara for sure.
That's so funny. I had Zara in my head. Queer as Folk is another thing that we cross over on.
Oh, changed my life practically.
Were you like sneaking DVDs or did you watch it later?
I don't think I watched it because in high school, like we didn't have
Where did you
TV
go to high
like
school?
that. I grew up in upstate New York in Elmira, New York, and I went to high school like, my class was like 75 people. It's like a small town. Yeah. So I think that I started watching when I was in college. I actually think I maybe rented DVDs from like the college library. Or maybe I was torrenting at the time. I don't know how. I
think you were torrenting.
Yeah.
I don't think the college library would have Queer as Folk.
Maybe they would. There was an art school there.
Oh, okay. So you were torrenting. You were getting them from the library, and which storylines were you super invested in?
I was probably relating to Justin a lot, but I also loved Emmett and Ted, right? Who's the one that did meth and was like nervous? Yeah, that was kind of me.
Wait, you just described him as the one who did meth and was nervous?
Yeah.
You related to that.
Kinda. I love the whole thing. And it's so funny to watch back now because like the camera work in that show is like psychotic.
I think it's good.
It's like, it's good. I think it's good. It's just like, I'm like, wait, they do this every episode. It's like so jarring, actually. I'm like, wow, they really kept this up.
I was obsessed with Brian Kinney.
Yeah,
obsessed. Mm-hmm. Him and his puka shell bracelet. Mm-hmm. I thought he was everything. I would like Google image, and I still do sometimes, just like pictures of Gail Harold. I think he's like the most attractive man I've ever seen.
He's really hot. And I think I was watching Queer as Folk the same time I was watching like 6 Feet Under for the first time. And like he kind of reminds me of Nate from 6 Feet Under, but like a gay version.
Yeah.
They kind of do have a similar like build and like hair color and like face.
They both have like
You
a
know?
Dorian Gray-esque face.
Uh-huh.
I know you've never seen a Broadway
Whatever that
show.
means, yeah.
Well, it's Oscar Wilde. He should be on your fucking list. He
Yep.
is among the fabulous.
I got Adam. He's one of the
Please add him.
Okay,
Please
I'm going to add him right
do a
now.
redacted.
Oh, I could probably add William S. Burroughs, too.
Now, we were texting the other day, and I made a reference to an upcoming guest, some like a powerhouse Broadway producer who I'm very excited about is going to be on the show the week after this. And anyway, this is the producer behind like Hamilton and Rent and In the Heights, and you're like, that's great. I've never seen a Broadway show.
No.
Never. Have you ever seen a play?
I saw, The Lion King came to Rochester, New York when I was in college, and I saw that.
Have you ever seen a play in New York? Like even in like the East Village, like there were tiny theaters, like
You know,
little
I
fringe.
did see a friend of mine like choreographed something, and I saw that.
How are you a gay
Probably like 14 years ago.
How are you a gay guy living in Brooklyn and you're so plugged into everything? How have you never seen like theater?
I don't want to be. First of all, I don't have like $1 million to go see a show
you
every
can
night of the week.
No, Queen, you can see things for $10.
Really? Like what? But what should I see right now for $10?
Oh, but actually, something I would have recommended to you, but it literally closes today.
I'm kind of
Okay,
busy.
can I give you the premise of
Yeah,
something?
of course.
And you tell me if you would watch.
So there's
this.
a woman climbing a tree. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would tell you to actively not see Redwood. Which my friend offered me a free ticket to see Redwood,
And you said no.
and I was like, I'm good. She's like, are you serious? This was before it was like in previews. And I was like, no, like I know A, it's bad. B, I'm not going to like it. She's like, it's like orchestra, like dead center. I'm like, I don't need that in my life.
That's how I feel about every play, basically.
I do actually get that to some extent.
They're kind of long, and then they're probably annoying too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and yes. But I want to say this. On Friday night, I went to see Becoming Eve, and I'm going to give you the pitch for this. This is based on a true story. Mm-hmm. You may be like, oh, I've heard of this.
Something sounds familiar, yeah.
And it's based on her book. So we're in where are the Hasids in Williamsburg? The
South
Hasidic-
Williamsburg,
Great,
yeah.
great.
But very far south.
So
yeah.
we're in the lesbian lands of South Williamsburg, like you're describing, and right next to that is the Hasidic. These are like ultra Orthodox Jews. Mm-hmm. So go back like 30 years. 30 years ago, this little boy is born into a Hasidic family. The father is this like very extremely important rabbi, and it is this little boy's destiny to become a rabbi. And ultimately, he winds up realizing that he's trans from a very young age, or like doesn't quite have the language, but starts doing a lot of reading of the Bible and like doing a lot of research on his own, and realizes that he does have a female soul and is a woman, and breaks out of the community and is now a trans woman.
All right. Well, they should make it a movie, and I'll watch it.
Well, they made a book and a
Okay.
play, and
Now
like
there
maybe
needs
a
to be a
movie is
third
the next
thing, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
How
that
long is it? Yeah, I mean, it sounds, could be good.
That's not compelling.
I don't know. Is it going to be like 2 hours and 45 minutes with
No,
an intermission and you
no.
have to buy drinks? And it's like, oh my God, it's so expensive.
It was an hour and 45 minutes,
Okay.
period.
Is there singing?
No, it's not a
Oh,
musical.
it's a play.
It's a
Okay,
play.
right. Okay, maybe. If you offered me a ticket, I would go. Or I guess if it's $10.
No, I would next time I'll offer you a ticket.
Okay. You'll have to drag me there, but I'll go.
Okay, well, it's closed.
Right, we're not doing that. But maybe another one will come up.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my review of that. It's like the best thing I've seen this year.
Well, it's good. Okay. Like
Yeah.
A+ or like A?
I would say A.
Who plays the main character?
Tommy Dorfman.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
What was that?
Eh,
You went on a ride with
not
that
a
review.
biggest fan.
Why?
I've never been like compelled by her acting. Maybe I just don't know her uber
She was
well
real.
enough.
She was really good.
Okay, good.
And this other person who's very famous, Brandon Uranowitz, is a very famous Broadway actor. He's very cute, and he's a Tony winner, and he's very well known.
Not by me, but by many, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that's our theater corner with Dan.
Yep.
Allegretto.
Unfortunately, we have to switch gears.
Now, something you also have on your list of influential stuff, Daria.
Yes.
This is a hard yes for me.
Yeah.
Voiced by Janeane Garofalo.
Wait, what?
Oh my God.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
She did the voice of Daria.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Are you sure? That's something that, okay, I know that we've proven this episode that I don't know a lot of facts. I did not know that.
Oh my God. AI Overview says no, Janeane Garofalo did not voice Daria.
Oh.
The voice of Daria was, I am proven wrong. Wow. The voice, I was so, I would have like.
You said 100%.
I said, the voice of Daria was provided by Tracy Grandstaff. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she visually reminds me of. Look at this image. You're telling me she's not inspired by Janeane Garofalo?
I mean, they look alike. They don't sound alike.
If you pull them
Daria sounds like me. Janeane Garofalo's a little more, I mean, depending on like different eras of Janeane, she can be a little more upbeat.
Isn't it so sad that Janeane Garofalo's on my Forever No list?
Forever No. Wait,
Yeah.
you mentioned this in an episode like months ago.
Yeah.
Well, she has like no computer or phone or something.
Yes.
And she just like won't do
She
it.
lives like a Hasid who like they don't have technology.
It's like, must be nice sometimes.
She doesn't have a cell phone, or she has like a flip
She's
phone.
a flip phone.
But yeah, I asked her. She still performs, like, and she still does comedy. Recently, she performs.
Yeah.
She performs like every night. She's like a real comedian
Right.
who's like doing the practice every single night. And so I went to one of her shows right here. This was like 2019.
Right here in the East Village.
It was 2019. I saw her at the stand, and after the show, this is like one of my biggest influences ever, like all time, forever.
Yeah.
And I introduced myself. I'd love to interview you, and she's like, "It's not you." I'm like, "Well, I know it's not me because we haven't like you don't know me yet." But she's like, "It's not. She's not you." She's like, "I hate doing podcasts." She's like, "I talk on and on." She's like, "I don't." She's like, "I don't know how to
Kill
like
for
edit."
that,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's what I want." I'm like, "I will make you sound like a genius. Like I will edit it." She's like,
Can you
"No,
do
no,
that
no."
for me too? It's gonna be tough.
No.
Yeah, all right.
We're gonna. And so I go, okay, fine. I wait. Then the pandemic hits. I wait the whole pandemic. As soon as like things are clear, I leave. You know, things are good and like things have reopened. I go back. I go, Janeane, and she goes, "I remember you." She goes, "The podcast."
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I've waited the whole I'm like, I'm like, this is me asking you a second time. It's now like a full year and a half later. And she's like, yeah, it's this. She's like, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm never going to ask you again. She's like, okay.
So she must be neighbors
She
with like
lives on-
Mel Ottenberg, whose party I was just at on Friday.
Okay. This is another person. How do you get invited to this? Oh, and you were at Tim Dillon's birthday with Bethenny Frankel.
Yeah.
How are you getting?
And like every male comedian who I'd never want to talk to, but kind of know of.
How were you invited to Mel Ottenberg's birthday as well as Tim Dillon's?
Mel, I've just like known him around a few years, and like through like he realizes, or like he's now that like I have, like his best friends are some of my close friends too. So it's like I'm kind of ingratiated in that way. I've been like vetted in a way, it seems. Knows how to throw a party. Shoes stay on, cigarettes inside, bartender, catering. Very nice. And
So does the whole house smell like smoke?
probably. My clothes did. It was heaven. For me, it was heaven. Who was there? Okay, there was Chloe Sevigny, obviously, and then Greta Lee, the actress.
Yes.
Okay, who else? The gay guy from the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
I forget his name. The apartment's maybe a little bigger than this, but not by much. But I don't really get invited to people's apartments often, so to be in like Manhattan in like an elevator doorman building, I feel like, whoa, I could get used to this.
What are your hopes and dreams? I know that you've written a screenplay. Where are you making movement? Like, are you taking meetings?
No, I don't know how to. I'm like not in the industry at all. I mean, I've written it, I've sent it to some people.
What's it about?
It's like a buddy comedy dramedy set in like 2006 in upstate New York. It's like, it's not like based on it, but remember like Daria had 2-hour-long specials after the show.
Yes.
One was like, is it fall yet? And then something about like summer, kind of like Daria and Jane's friendship, like where is it going to go? Or like what's going to happen? So it's that kind of thing. These two best friends who are like, they're not out, but they're like gay, and they're kind of figuring out like stuff. And it's like their last summer, and like they start like experimenting with like sex, drugs, etc., stuff like that.
This may be a good thing to slip to Lena Dunham. Your good friend.
I have sent it to her, and she said she will read it. She's really busy right now, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but It's in her hands.
Okay. Another thing that we cross over on is our love of upstate and the Hudson Valley.
I grew up in like the southern tier Finger Lakes, but I mean, I like getting out of town. I'll just say that.
What are your favorite spots in Hudson?
I stay at like a little weird self-check-in Airbnb called Nautical Nest.
Okay.
So it's like typically around $100 a night, but I like to go on like Monday, Tuesdays because it's like cheaper. And I'll go to like the Maker Hotel for like dinner and drinks by myself.
Yes.
Because like the day I'm just kind of hopefully out like doing like, you know, little nature stuff, and I'll just like take the scenic route back home and stop in different towns and little antique stores and stuff like that.
Have you ever been to talk to me about Kingston?
Oh, Kingston. Yeah. I was there a few months ago, staying in another kind of like self check-in in like a big old historic house.
Kingston is really gay. Kingston, I think, is gayer than Hudson.
Yeah, it might be. Hudson's just kind of like it seems like a fake set because there's like one street basically, and it's like
Kingston's bigger.
Yeah, it just seems like people actually live there year round more.
What do you think is the future of? I was going to say, what do you think is the future of Bravo, and how do you think they are going to fix both Summer House and Roni?
Ooh, the future of Bravo. I think they need to maybe. Well, I mean, season 2 of The Valley is pretty harrowing.
I love it.
I love it so much.
It has to be harrowing.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they're going to... Okay, let's break these down. Summer House. Do you think they'll just continue as long as they do it, always keeping Kyle and Amanda as, like, the rock? Even though Amanda does not... And even Kyle doesn't drive story anymore.
No. In, like, the young people, they're not as like demented as the original cast.
Yes.
Or like they're just like even like West and Jesse and Lexi and whoever, Gabby, who's like barely, I forgot she's on the show. Sierra, they're too buttoned up.
I'm shocked that they keep bringing Gabby back. We know nothing about her.
Nothing.
How do you solve the Lindsay, Carl, Amanda, Paige? What do you do with them? Like, is Lindsay really going to do a season with a baby?
I think she should be on Roni if they're going to keep that train going, quite frankly. And
yes.
she's been like, she's been hanging out with some of the girls. Like, she's been with Aaron a lot.
You know, I told Andy Cohen that. I went to a taping, Jenna Lyon's first season of Roni. I went to that taping, and he takes questions from the audience before the show starts. And I said, would you consider Lindsay Hubbard for Roni? This was right when the engagement was broken off. And he said, it seems like she's ready for it.
Oh, yeah. She's ready for anything.
I think
she's like the only person with a real personality that's captivating on Summer House. Actually, I do love West in like a way, but it wouldn't be enough for me to watch the show if it was just him being the only one that has some sort of like a certain like joie de vivre or humor. I think he's like cute too. Mm-hmm. Like little Muppet hands, like big eyes. He's like, you know, I think it's kind of like West. I can live without pretty much anyone at this point on that show, unfortunately.
What do you do with Paige? Or you're not.
Who cares? I don't know. I used to love Paige.
I want Hannah back.
Bring Hannah back.
You know what I think?
Wait, that's kind of smart.
I think bring Hannah, Paige, and Lindsay, move them to Roni. Because they have an existing... And you could even put Amanda on Roni as well, because that way that whole conflict can get resolved.
Yes. Okay, that's brilliant, actually.
I'm a producer.
And we could like easily chop half the Roni cast. Who would you get rid of on Roni current? Who would I get rid of?
It's easier for me to think, who do I keep? You keep Erin.
Yeah, I like Erin too.
You keep...
That's it for me.
I was going to even say Brynn because she's nuts.
What about Uba?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think you get rid of the rest. Some new, maybe like 2 new people, and then bring over those other girls. And then Summer House, try to keep it going with the rest of the people. And Carl needs to do his Lance Bass, yep, I'm gay, cover on the cover of like Entertainment Weekly or
what do you
whatever.
think like Kelly Catrone or like Kelly Ben Simone joining Roni? People always mention their names.
I don't think Kelly Catrone is going to do anything without Leah McSweeney. Like, she would do it.
Right.
Did you watch the interview that Bethenny did with that producer recently?
Oh, this just was like bald guy.
Yes. See?
Actually, wait, no. I don't really know what he was talking like.
He was somebody who up until like just a few months ago, he produced the last 2 seasons. He produced the Scandival season, the last 2 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, including Scandival. He talked all about producing the reunion. He produced Potomac, I think Atlanta, Potomac, and something else.
Did he say that Bravo fired him because he has an OnlyFans?
That was the premise of his initial like video, but Bethenny didn't dig into that really at all.
Okay.
No, it doesn't seem like he was fired. It seems like he was like leaving of his own volition.
Okay.
But don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
The way about Daria and Janeane.
I mean, or you must be 100% right.
Yeah.
On this. So.
But you should watch that interview.
With Bethenny?
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I can't quit Bethenny either. Never. Have you met her before?
Have I met her?
Or like been in the same room as her?
Yeah.
It's electric.
Oh my God. Okay, wait.
I've never spoken to her, but like
Tell me, this is hilarious. Okay, go on.
I went to Tim Dillon's birthday party in the Hamptons. No, it was like a barbecue last summer. And I don't know anyone there. I'd never met Tim before. So I'm like talking to like his parents. It's like dad and his stepmom. And I hear Bethenny from like across the yard, and it's just like cutting through all the noise. And it's just like, she's so loud. She's so loud. And she's like at this long table at the head of it and talking to everyone. And she's wearing like all pink Chanel. It was like so cute. And then she kind of gets up and walks around. She's like making, her phone is she's just like glued to it. She's like making TikToks about the buffet. It was a decent buffet, but it's not something you need to like photograph or like make a video about. But she just has to, everything in her perimeter has to be like mentioned. And so then I end up kind of like sitting near the table she just left, and I was like, because there was some gay guys. I'm like, oh, you guys like friends with Bethenny? They're like, oh no, we've never met her before. And she was acting like they were like really close friends. I just got a vibe that like she brought all these gay guys with her, but she was just alone and kind of like just, I don't know, zipping around. It sounds maybe not that spectacular, but to watch her operate,
that was electric.
she's just like buzzy and just like, she's like has a specific kind of like energy that I've maybe never seen before. And the phone stuff, because this was right after the chicken salad thing.
Yes.
And that like grocery store or whatever market was on the way to Tim's house, and I was like, what if I brought the chicken salad here?
Round Swamp?
Yeah. Round Swamp, right. I'm also like, I can't afford that. So
where was his house? Where was this party?
Like East Hampton.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
What's your review of the Hamptons?
I've only been twice. I've never like been to like even like a restaurant or a bar. The scene is not totally my vibe, but I like going to nice parts of the world. I'll say that. But it is a lot more like congested, and you don't feel like you're really getting out of the city. There's too many people that live in New York City and like kind of are powerful, and it's kind of like, I don't want to do it. Like, I'm from the other ass end of like upstate, where it's like you don't see like a Range Rover ever. You know what I mean? It's like a little easier, less competitive, and it's more like I like to just be in nature, but I also like a pool. Do you
think you're gonna stay in New York / Brooklyn?
I mean, okay, so
you're in Greenpoint.
I'm in Greenpoint. I have a car. I like having a car so I can do all my little things.
You'll record a full ass podcast on. Are you recording it on voice memo, or like when you used to record in your car, or you have your laptop?
I would do it on my phone. I would put it on top of the steering wheel and like talking to it. I was having some noise issues in my apartment, I'll just say that. And so I was like, okay, I have to just sit in my car. But I bought this like soundproof booth for my desk, which has been life-changing. It's like 32 inches cube, thick felt with like...
This is your recording studio.
Yeah, so it's like it sits here and I kind of get inside of it, and there's like a flap, and I put like a blanket behind it, and I'm just like in this pitch black darkness.
And your computer's in front of you.
Yeah, I've like stacked up on some books, so it's like eye level. And then I, look at my little topics and try to... I think I'm going to record tonight, actually, because it's been about a week.
How would you describe, or why would somebody like join the Patreon? And also, actually, here's my number one question for you.
Yeah.
Why is it not just a regular podcast that's free and then just have occasional? Why do you put... I feel like you could put even like half the episodes available for free and people would still pay for the Patreon.
I mean, I would say like a third of the episodes are free.
Okay.
Ish. The thing is, the Patreon, if I'm like spilling some tea kind of, or I have like I don't want strangers hearing necessarily.
But you're talking about finding $10 on the ground.
If you love everyday minutia and you
It
can
is the
tolerate
minutia.
this voice,
You know
then
what
you
it
might
is?
like the pod.
Listen, you know what it is it's based on Jax Taylor. It is like in the mind
Yeah.
of Dan Allegretto.
It
I mean,
is.
it is
Ugh.
the minutia, but it could also be exciting, like when you go upstate and your stories. Like I love hearing about like the different routes you take and the hotels and the drama at the hotels. Like I enjoy all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? You found $10, and then what happened?
I spent it. Yeah, I don't know. I bought myself chicken and rice with it at the deli. I found $20 on the ground at Mel Ottenberg's party, so kept it. But I'm going to talk about how I had to like get an outfit for it at the outlet malls
Okay.
the other day. I made it like a bandit. I did really good. If you want to hear about like outlet malls, Long Island,
I
just
love your
how
trip.
America runs.
I
know?
I love your trips to Long Island and like Roosevelt Field. That is the mall. That was my mall.
Right. Oh my God. We should do a whole episode on that. I went to the Deer Park Tanger outlets,
Of
which
course,
I'm sure you know.
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
So you spend a lot of time just like it seems like you do a lot of your errands and stuff on Long Island.
I actually kind of, yeah. Because I like going to the mall. It's like peaceful for me. And, the temperature's always right in the mall. And it's like, I live right next to the BQE, so I can just get on there. And I'm like there in like 35 minutes. It's like not even, I was like telling my friend I wanted to go to Zara to buy a blazer. Oh, this is for like Lena Dunham's New Year's Eve party. Because I have like nothing to wear. And they're like, why don't you just go to the one in Soho? I'm like, because I have to like walk around with a Zara bag and like take the train. It's like annoying and like chaotic. I'm like, I'll get in my car and go to Long Island and sit at the food court, and like breathe for once, what I mean?
Get into nature.
Just love them all. Yeah, and I go to like Target Rock. I like to make a day of it. I can't like walk around the woods in Soho.
You can't walk around in the woods in Soho.
You absolutely cannot.
Dan Allegretto.
Jess, thank you so much.
Dial Dan. Any final thoughts? Anything you have to say?
I don't really. Let me just take a quick peek at, I don't know. I think we covered a lot. I loved your episode with Vincent Carpenter. Is that his name,
You
right?
texted Vincent Carpenter, but it's actually Vincent Patterson.
Fuck. So we loved that episode.
Thank you.
It was great. You're a great interviewer, and I've been recommending your pod to people for months, if not years. I'm like, I like how professional and like put together it is, and
How do you think this appearance has gone?
I think fairly well.
Yeah, I think pretty
right.
well.
I mean, what do you think?
I think pretty well. I think when I edit it, it's going to be tight.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I can kind of trail off and be like, oh, well, that was, I'm maybe a little better at night after a few drinks, I think, but like honestly, it's fine. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m.
What's your Instagram handle?
It's Dan_Allegretto. Same with Twitter, I believe.
Of course, the Dial Dan podcast.
Yeah, and it's on Spotify and iTunes. Check it out. People like my Los Angeles episode. The whole idea of every detail of everything.
So give us the highlights. Like, talk about like where you stayed. Just why would people listen to this one?
I don't know. If you like want to understand a place through my perspective, it's very honest. And if you like the real L Word, you'll like my Los Angeles episode because I don't like glamorize things. I don't also like shit on things. It's just kind of, I think I try to be this like alien that's on Earth trying to put together the pieces of like what's happening. And I connect a lot of things in general. Like I just like stuff. I'm trying to make sense of it with my limited intellect. So get on the winning team now while you can.
And you're doing
before I get too big.
And you do live video as well.
Yeah. So Patreon introduced a new feature where you can do live streaming through the website and the app, which they never had.
Wasn't Patreon also trying to get you into their creators program?
Yeah, and like you're supposed to post these up like 3 things a week, and I would, but it would make my feed look stupid, and I was getting just a lot of more free subscribers, which like didn't translate to any like paid subscribers. I'm like, I have literally 500 free members right now. I don't need more of them. I need them to like convert. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much again.
Dan
Beautiful
Allegretto.
apartment, so clean, bright and clean.
What's your review of my dog?
I thought that she was a little puppy, but she's like,
don't say her age.
She's young. Not really. But she looks great. I thought she was new. I was like, is this a newborn baby? I couldn't think of the word puppy. I was like, is that a baby? Like, what is that? It's so small.
A baby. All right.
Long hair Chihuahua?
Long hair Chihuahua, baby.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed. I'm like, it's a small dog for sure. Tiny head, like smaller than a tennis ball, basically.
It's about the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the head, not the whole body. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, please follow me, JessXNYC, on Instagram. Go over to the YouTube channel, Hot Takes and Deep Dives. Throw in my name. All of these interviews are available on YouTube to watch. And we will see you soon.